Hi everyone, Great Power 60 here. I thought I'd play around with these 4x6 postcards referencing hashtag July postcard play, hosted by Carrie the Crafter. These are the ones that I've done. So far we're at number 8. So I'll put those in there. But before I go into doing number 9, I wanted to share with you some fun things that I've been doing. Sorry, I'm just putting these away so I don't lose them. A couple of things that I've been doing I thought I would share with you. I didn't know it was a thing. And here are my doodle things, doodle stuff. Doodle flowers, doodle greenery. Now, if I can remember, I will put a link to a couple of the videos where they talk about doodling on magazine pages, okay? And I found a couple of magazines here that I thought were worthy of creating some fun stuff. Yeah, I even cut out a few things there. But this is the one that I used because it's great for greenery. There's a lot of flowers and so on. And apparently what you do, let me just... I hate it when both sides are really nice. But anyway, let's just take it out. And I'm sure most of you know about this and how to do this, etc., etc. So I'll just kind of show you what I learned to make flowers and so on. And all I'm using is a Sharpie. I don't have any of those other kinds of, I've got a Sharpie, a thicker one, I've got a fine tip one, and I've got my white gel pen. And it's just freehand doodling. So to create any flowers, anything at all, whatever you want to play with, any pages, apparently the colorful pages, and these are great for just sticking in your journal, putting them on different things. Anyway, so all it is, and if you know already, then, you know, that's great. So let's use that one there. And it doesn't matter if it's messy or whatever, you just do a flower and stick a circle in the middle. And that's all you do. And then you can also like put in, to make it look like a fat flower, whatever, you can color in the circle here. So that is what I've done there. Then you take a white pen. Now if you had a dark, I don't have thick white pens, but then you just go around in the middle of the black that you've already done. I could have done it a little thicker, but just for demonstration purposes, you just do this. Just go around it where the black is. I also like to put a little bit on these little bits here, although it's kind of hard to see because it's white color. If it had been on the darker color, and maybe I'll show that later. And then just make a bunch of white dots in the middle of there. You can also do little dots here, just to make the flower. And you know what? There's no right way, there's no wrong way. So we'll be able to fussy cut that out. And I like to keep the greenery. So let's use this one as another example. So we'll do this and just come out here. I hope you can see it. Sometimes what I've done is gone over it twice just to make it a little bit thicker. And here, now I'm going to come out with some more out here and out here. And there's no right or wrong way to make a flower. There is no right or wrong way to make these flowers. And we'll make a big circle in the middle somehow, and maybe just bring in a little. I'm trying to make it dark enough so that you could see it. Okay. Now we'll take our white gel pen and just go kind of in the middle of the line to kind of give it a little bit of an outline. And sometimes if it's not quite, if the pen is not quite the black, if it wasn't quite dry, although it dries pretty fast here. Sometimes I need to just wipe it off. And then we're just and then put a whole bunch of dots in the middle. And because it's white, it shows up a little bit better. And I'm just putting little dots on there. And that's it. That, you know, and then you fussy cut them out. And I keep the green part because I want to, I try and save as much of the paper as I can, because I could be, for instance, right here, I could very easily make some leaves or, whoops, wrong pen. Make some greenery, something like this here, kind of, or just, oops. And there's no wrong or right way of doing it. And sometimes I'll go over the stem of it a little bit thicker. If I had a thicker Sharpie or ink pens or something like that, I probably would make a better job of this. Now, I'm going to use the thinner ones to kind of make the veins. Okay. And of course, once you cut it out, it makes a big difference. So this is playing. It's just doodle art, basically. That's all it is. Let's Let's see if I can, and the white just kind of emphasizes it a little bit. So let me know in the comments below if you've ever tried this. I have never tried it before, but you know, if you're looking for making flowers in a background, if you're doing some multimedia artwork, gel pens are the best for this. There we go. And then all we have to do is cut it out. So like I say, I try and sort of save the paper like where the greenery is, because it makes great leaves and so on. And then all we do is just, I don't know where I put the other one. It went flying. Oh, here it is. I couldn't find it. So all we do is, and try, and when you're cutting, fussy cutting it, instead of going really close, try and leave a bit of maybe a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch border around what you've drawn, so that it gives it a little bit more definition. At least that's what I've been told. And that's what I've done with most of those. And we're just going around. Yeah, I thought, you know, there are times when I want to do things like this. I want to do some doodling and backgrounds and so on, and sometimes it's fun to use other things that you can layer. You know, layering is such a big part of our artistic endeavors. Some places I make it a little bit too big around the edges, but it doesn't matter. Nothing is wrong, you know, nothing. And you can put them on here, and with some of my little leaves that I have fussy cut out, I could put them all up here. I could take extra flowers and put them, you know, together, or not, you know, whatever you want to do. If you have two together here, let's see, we'll put one like this, and maybe, you know, and it's just playing. It's just totally playing. Just get some more leaves and play around. Let's take that one off and put it down here. And, you know, that's kind of cool. And you can use that, you can do that kind of thing on your pages of your journals, whatever they may be. And with these, again, leaving enough space so that your stems are not too fragile, shall we say. And sometimes I cut down a little differently just to keep that stem, because it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Nothing has to be perfect. So this is one of the things I wanted to show you today, what I've been playing with over the weekend. Just to, you know, you watch some videos and you say, gee, I'm going to try that. you know, so I thought I would just have a bunch of, let me see if I can get this one cut out. There we go. It doesn't, and you know what? Doesn't have to be perfect. But on the stems, leave enough so that they're not too fragile. And you can put that on any, what did I have, a green one here. You know, let's grab a couple of these. You can put the flowers on it, in it. You could leave it just like that. Create a bunch of these leaves all over the place. You know, throw them on. This was a really tiny one. You know, so you can do all kinds of things with your magazine doodling. I think they called it floral fodder. To be honest with you, I don't know what that word is supposed to mean. So I'm not, if anybody knows what it's supposed to mean, please let me know. Now, apparently, the girl that was, she's been doing art for a long, long time. Apparently, there was a thing that came out called zines, and that is homemade magazines with artists, and some of them published. And then after that, these magazines, then people, I think this was in like 2001 or something. And apparently, see, you could even put this over here like this or something. You know, have it hiding or right on top. And they made their own, they called them zines. And apparently you take a magazine page, you fold it, and, you know, and then it comes out to be like 3 little pages, and then you decorate them with these things. So, you know, I know nothing about that. That's long before my time of crafting. But yeah, so if you have a white gel pen, a thick Sharpie, the thin Sharpie, if you have even, what are those called? Posca pens. Yeah, you can use those, but I don't. I just have these, blah, blah, blah. So that is what I have been doing with, you know, some of my magazine stuff, is just putting some of these flowers together, maybe go in a junk journal or something. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. So that was one thing I was playing with this weekend. The other thing, I took out some, this is just tissue paper, regular thin tissue paper, and I took out 2 white and 2 blue, and all I did was stamp on them. And here are the blue ones, this side. Nope, this side. I think I didn't want to, because one side is shiny and one side is dull, and that's the side that I did some stamping on. And I thought keeping this in my stash would be great for when I want to, for example, this one's quite dark, but as you can see through the background, and once you wet it, actually this one I did on the shiny side. I did. Oh well, that doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter. So using some paste or whatever. What else do I have in here? I think it's matte medium that I have that I could use if I get it. I don't have a soft brush. And this one's not very thick. But let me get out. Where is my water pen? Yoo-hoo, here you are. Need more water in there. My water pen is really great. There we go. It's getting wet. It's getting wet. And if I wanted to put just part of this on there, I can use my water pen to separate this. I'm just going to go along here. And I wonder how much of this. Let me see. Oops, too much water. What am I doing? What am I doing? Way too much water here. Oops. Mistakes are made. And then you just gently pull it away from the page. There we go. I'm going to have to put that aside somewhere over here and let it dry. And wipe up some of this. Okay. Now, which side do I want that on? I could put it on here. So that's what I've been playing with. I am totally experimenting. Totally experimenting. Lovely. I got stuff all over me. Let me just add a little bit of, even though I wiped it up, some water here. I just want to. Okay, and I'm just going to cover this with the matte medium. I'm gonna have to guesstimate how big that is. Okay. I just wanted to play with it. Basically, all I'm doing is playing. I want to try this whole being able to use different tissue on different mediums. You know, a lot of people do it, and I haven't really played with it much. I just want to make sure that that is covering everything. All the edges especially. Yeah, so this is my first attempt at it, guys. We're going to give it a try. And if it goes over the edge, that is okay. Now, what I've learned from Carrie is that with tissue, you start in the middle and work your way out, which makes sense to me because if you start on the edges, you could wrinkle it, you could, you know, do all kinds of stuff to it here. Whoops, a little bit too much. I guess I should have put something underneath my glass mat here. And you just have to be careful because it does, you know, it will tear. But a little wrinkle here and there is okay too. And you just have to be ever so gentle with it. And I'll dry this off, but I want to make sure it's totally covered. There might be a few spots that I've kind of missed here. If I had a bigger brush, it would be better. When I was stamping it, I did use my archival ink so that, now see, I've got bubbles in there. And I don't know if I'll be able to get them out. So that if I did want to paint over it or do anything, I knew that it wasn't going to activate or smudge. Now I'm wondering if that is close enough to the edge. Here we go. All right. That is my matte medium. This is Deco Art Media matte medium that I got at Michael's a while ago. Okay, sorry if it's shaking a little bit. We'll leave that in the water. Now, I'm just going to be back in a minute. I'm going to dry that off. Okay, what I noticed here is that the ends were not down. They were not pasted down properly, so I have to come along here and make sure that the edge is really wet. Now, what I also noticed here is that I thought that this part of the, sorry, I'm just checking the edges. I thought it would have been more transparent, and it's not. So I find that rather odd that the rest of it, all along here, is all, you know, molded in, but this part is not, so I'll have to cover that somehow. Okay, we'll let that part dry, and I'll come back in a moment. Okay, so it's all dry here. I'm a little disappointed in that. And I was looking through my things to place on here. And I thought of this with this because there's some cut off pieces here. And I can always cut that top off, that's okay. Here, I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try and use a glue stick to put those down. And we shall see how it goes. The whole point here is to be, although it's a magazine and it's quite thick, I want to be careful that I don't totally destroy it all. Now, I'm not going to put all of the petals down because I want to put these leaves underneath. And I have to move quickly enough to be able to put these underneath. And I'm thinking here. Okay. And another one over here. Up in here. Okay, and get my little spreader thing here and spread it down. There we go. Now to put this one down. Oh, better get another page. Now this one I have to be careful with because it does come out a little bit. Okay, and I want to be careful to sit it down really close to the edge. Okay. I think this needs a little bit more glue stick on there. Okay, I was going to use another leaf and I changed my mind. Now I also have this. All it takes is one bloom to brighten your day, and I thought I would add that right here. So we'll put that down before I change my mind, because I know I'll play around with it. I'll play around and play around until I can't make up my mind. And I'll just trim that part off. Oops. There we go. Okay, and now I need a number on here, and I need, before I do that, I'm going to go around it and distress the edges, because there's a lot of white on the edges. Just because I did this the wrong way. I may even have to trim that down, because that is annoying me. I do want it to look a little wooden, I think, just to add a little on here as well. Don't usually do that, but there's a little bit of white in here that's irritating me. And that is okay. I guess I could have gone around the flower, but it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. And there we have, I think it's number 9, is it? I think so. I think this is number 9. Yes, this is number 8. So this will be number 9. Oh, now look at this. This is going to annoy me. I guess I didn't go over the edges with the glue stick that well. But I can always come in with, you know, with a fine nib and fix it up. Let's do the signature on the bottom. Now I need a number, and I wanted it right here, number 9. Now, I could just make a number 9 on here, couldn't I? Rather than anything else, I could just make a number 9, just like that. And that is it. That is my, so that's a little bit of everything today. The stamping of my tissue paper so that I will have some in stock. My foliage doodle art. That's all I can think of what it's called, doodle art. And I've included it all on here. Let me see. Oh, I just realized I'm glad that this edge is irritating me because it is a fraction bigger than the 4x6. It's a little crooked, but yeah, it's just a fraction, just enough to irritate me. I'm glad I measured it because it was bothering me. Okay, so this is a combination of things that I've been playing with today. Yeah, like I said, the tissue paper, the doodle art thingy, adding it all together, putting it on my 4x6 card. And this is number 9 of the hashtag July postal. Oh my God. Hashtag July postcard play, hosted by one of my favorite influencers, Carrie the Crafter. All right, guys, so that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this and have a little fun trying this out. Actually, you know, it's kind of freeing, you know, any kind of doodle art is, I used to find it annoying, but I used to doodle a lot when I was a kid. I used to doodle on pages, on my books, and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, so that's it for me. Let's bring it up a little closer for you to see. And that is number 9. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.